Hey, Falcons fans, because what I'm about to tell you is going to flip everything you thought you knew about this season upside down. Week 8 just happened, and yeah, it stung like nothing else. But here's the thing nobody's talking about. While everyone's pointing fingers and panicking, I've got information that's going to change your entire perspective on what just went down at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We're sitting here at 3-4, coming off a brutal 34-10 beatdown from the Dolphins, and the media vultures are circling. They want you to believe this team is falling apart. They want you to think the season's over. But what if I told you that this loss, this painful, embarrassing, gut-wrenching loss, might actually be the wake-up call that saves our entire season? And before you click away thinking this is just another homer take, stick with me. Because what's happening in our division right now? It's absolute chaos. And in chaos, there's opportunity. While one of our biggest rivals just made a quarterback move so baffling that even their own fans are scratching their heads, we've got something they don't have. We've got answers. We've got a path forward. And most importantly, we've got the talent to execute. But first, we need to talk about what really happened on Sunday. No sugarcoating. No excuses. Just raw, honest truth about where we are and where we're going. But hold up, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan who's sick of the shallow hot takes floating around out there, stop everything right now. Because what's coming next is going to expose the behind-the-scenes reality, the stats the media won't show you, and the real game plan to turn this thing around. But you'll only get the full breakdown if you smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on those notifications, because only 1% of viewers actually do this. And I know you're not the type to sit in the stands watching the game pass you by. You're the type who gets on the field. So join the team right now, and let's prove together that this season is far from over. But you know what? Even in the darkest moments, even when everything's crumbling around you, there's always someone who refuses to quit. And on Sunday, that someone was Kyle Pitts Sr. On National Tight End Day, the man put on an absolute clinic. 9 targets, 9 receptions, 59 yards. Perfect execution. While everything else was falling apart, Pitts was out there being the elite tight end we all knew he could be. He tied his career high for receptions in a game, something he hadn't done since 2021 when he was just a rookie making the league take notice. Here's what's wild about Pitts' performance. Over the last 2 games, he's caught 16 passes. That's the most he's recorded in a 2-game span since weeks 5 and 7 of his rookie year. The man is finally starting to look like the generational talent we drafted him to be. He became just the 3rd Falcons tight end ever to record 9 or more receptions in multiple games, joining legends Tony Gonzalez and Austin Hooper in that exclusive club. While the offense was sputtering, while the run game was non-existent, while Kirk was struggling to find any rhythm, Pitts was there being a security blanket, being reliable, being exactly what this offense needs him to be. That's not nothing, folks. That's a foundation to build on. And Tyler Allgeier? The man scored our only touchdown, a 6-yard run in the 4th quarter, giving him 4 rushing touchdowns on the season. That ties his single-season career high from 2023, and we're not even halfway through the schedule yet. He also crossed the 3,000-yard career scrimmage mark, becoming the 14th Falcons running back in franchise history to reach that milestone. These individual performances matter because they show us something crucial. The talent is there. The ability is there. We're not lacking in skill or athleticism. We're lacking in consistency, in execution, in that killer instinct that separates good teams from great teams. Bijan Robinson said it best after the game, and this is a direct quote that should be plastered on every wall in the Flowery Branch facility. This is my 3rd year, and I don't want to keep saying, we played low on Sunday and high on another Sunday. Consistency has been the biggest thing for us as a team, and that's what needs to be preached. That right there is the entire season summed up in one perfect statement. We're not a bad team. We're an inconsistent team. And you know what's scarier than being bad? Being inconsistent. Because when you're bad, you know what you are and you can start fixing it. When you're inconsistent, you're never sure which version of the team is going to show up. Look at the facts. We're 0-2 this season when the opponent scores first. The Dolphins put up points on their first real possession, and we never recovered. Same thing happened in week 3 against the Panthers. It's like once we get punched in the mouth, we don't know how to punch back. That's a mentality issue, not a talent issue. The Dolphins came in with a clear game plan. Their head coach Mike McDaniel straight up told everyone what they were going to do. The plan from the onset was to have a pack mentality on the runner. Trying to keep them one-dimensional was a priority. And you know what? It worked. Perfectly. Because we had no counter. No adjustment. No plan B. Caden Ellis, who led the team with 12 tackles, said he was very surprised by the outcome. He expected to win. The players expected to win. But expecting to win and executing a winning game plan are two completely different things. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. What is happening with our coaching staff? Because here's the reality check nobody wants to hear. The Dolphins' defensive coordinator looked at our offense and said, they can't beat us through the air consistently, so we're going to load the box and dare Kirk Cousins to make plays downfield. And they were right. This is the same offense that was supposed to be explosive. The same offense that added weapons. The same offense that was supposed to be one of the most dangerous in the NFC. And we're getting completely shut down by teams that load the box and play single high safety? That's not acceptable. Raheem Morris said after the game, these guys won't stray away from each other. The locker room will stay together. They'll stay bonded. Not worried about that, but we've definitely got to correct the physical mistakes that we made. Physical mistakes? Coach, with all due respect, this wasn't about physicality. This was about scheme. This was about adjustments. This was about having answers when the defense shows you something different. The physicality was there in week 6 when we put up 38 points. The physicality was there in week 2 when we looked unstoppable. The physicality hasn't changed, the execution has. We had the fewest penalties in the entire NFL coming into this game with just 33 through 7 weeks. Then we go out and commit 8 penalties, tying our season high. That's not a coincidence. That's a team playing tight, playing frustrated, playing without confidence. Now here's where things get interesting, and why I told you at the beginning that this loss might not be the disaster it looks like on the surface. While we were getting embarrassed by the Dolphins, our division rivals were imploding in their own special ways. The Saints lost to the Buccaneers 23-3. But that's not even the story. The story is what happened during that game. New Orleans benched their second-year starter Spencer Rattler in the third quarter for rookie Tyler Shaw. Let me repeat that. They gave up on their quarterback midway through the game for a 26-year-old rookie who was in college so long that he backed up Justin Herbert at Oregon. You want to know how crazy that is? Trevor Lawrence, who's in his 5th year as the Jaguars starter, is younger than Tyler Shaw. This is the guy the Saints are pinning their hopes on. And Shaw's stat line in his debut? 17 of 30 for 128 yards and an interception. That's not promising. That's not even mediocre. That's desperate. The Saints are now staring down the barrel of quarterback purgatory, and they might be looking at drafting another signal caller with a top pick in the 2026 draft. Meanwhile, the Panthers lost too. The Buccaneers are now 6-2 and sitting pretty at the top of the division, but here's what everyone's missing: we're still in this thing. At 3-4, with the Saints and Panthers both struggling, with New Orleans in complete quarterback chaos, we're one hot streak away from being right back in the thick of the division race. The NFC South is wide open. It's arguably the least talented division in football right now, and that's not an insult, that's an opportunity. The Bucs are good, but they're not unbeatable. The Saints are a mess. The Panthers are rebuilding. And us? We've got all the talent in the world. We just need to put it together consistently. Look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Sunday was okay. It wasn't. It was terrible. It was embarrassing. It was everything a professional football team shouldn't be. But I'm also not going to panic and act like the season's over. We're 3-4 with 9 games to play in a wide-open division. We've got more talent than most teams we're going to face. We've got a quarterback with a Super Bowl on his resume. We've got playmakers at every position on offense. We've got defenders who can make game-changing plays. What we need now is consistency. We need that fire that we saw in week 6 to show up every single week. We need the coaching staff to make better in-game adjustments. We need the players to execute the game plan. We need Falcons Nation to keep believing, keep supporting, keep showing up. Because here's what I know about this team: when we're clicking, when we're playing our brand of football, we can beat anyone. The talent is there. The potential is there. Now we just need to turn potential into production, and we need to do it fast. The road ahead is tough. Patriots, then whoever's next. But every game is an opportunity. Every game is a chance to prove doubters wrong. Every game is a chance to show the NFL that the Atlanta Falcons are for real. So yeah, Week 8 was brutal. It hurt. It stung. It made us all question everything. But champions aren't made when everything's going right. Champions are made in moments like these, when your back's against the wall and everyone's counting you out. Are we going to fold? Or are we going to fight? Go Falcons!